so high, it's important that we do this right. That's why we have investigations. That's why we relentlessly gather the facts. That's why we have courts. And that's why we take care not to rush to judgment. Not about the motivations of these individuals, certainly not about entire groups of people.
But of course, it's all about motivation, and it is about a specific group of people. President Obama is wrong, seriously wrong. It's clear the two Boston bombers were jihadists. They believed they have a right to kill children to serve their religion. Who else does that? What other theology in this world justifies murdering innocent people? The answer is only radical Islam allows terror murder. That's the truth. President Obama doesn't want to say the truth, and the reason is politics. As we reported last night, there are Muslim nations that help the USA. They provide vital intelligence. Their secret police actually kill jihadists. Mr. Obama rightly doesn't want to alienate those nations. Also, most Muslims on this earth are good people, but they are not helping to neutralize the jihad. They are not standing up against it in any numbers. And that includes American Muslims. They largely remain silent. This is a situation we all face in America. The jihad is real. Radical Muslims are killing innocent people and threatening the world. A country like Iran would wipe out every Jew on earth if it could. And then they'd wipe us out if it could. Iran is a Muslim theocracy. Can't solve any problem unless you understand it. I believe President Obama does understand the jihad is a threat to the world, but I also believe he's never going to define it that way. He's not going to say what the real situation is. Again, I believe that's a terrible mistake. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction joining us from Washington, Fox News analyst Charles Krauthammer. And you say?
I say I don't know what he's thinking, but I sure know what he's saying and doing. The lengths to which he will go to avoid telling us the truth about the enemy is becoming comical. It's certainly embarrassing. For example, he will never forget about the word jihadist. He'll never use that. But he refuses to use the word Islamist, which is used throughout the Muslim world. It's used by journalists, by authors, on the street, in the parliament, everywhere. In Egypt, it's used in Lebanon, it's used everywhere by Muslims. And yet Obama won't touch it because he refuses to use any words that might imply a connection between radical Islam and terrorism, which, as anybody who's over the age of 9 knows, is the single greatest cause of terror in the world today. I'll give you one example which was completely overlooked by everyone. It was a rather trivial one. When he was in Israel, he gave a speech in Jerusalem. And in the middle of the speech, he talked about the rise of the Islamist parties in Egypt and elsewhere, the Brotherhood in Egypt, in Libya, etc. And what was the phrase he used? We have to be concerned about the rise of non-secular parties. What a weird word to use. The word is religious parties. The word is Islamist parties. Yet even in this trivial throwaway line in his speech in Jerusalem, he refuses to use the obvious word.